fall in love with SVP. We're gonna make you fall in love with SVP TV. SVP. SVP TV.
Looking for something new? We thought so. SVP is mixing things up, and digital TV, it'll never be the same.
SVP TV, we're family. We're gonna make you fall in love with SVP.
Download the SVP app today on Roku, Apple, and Fire TV. Watch us. You know why?
We're gonna make you fall in love with SVP TV.
Well, see, when you look at somebody like me, I grew up here. There's nothing you can tell me about Memphis that I don't already know. There's nothing you can tell me about Memphis.
From the boardroom to the streets.
that I don't already know.
With Mike from Memphis, man. Together, we can fix things. Really?
When you say, I want to be treated fairly, and I want a voice.
Yeah.
I want.
He saw things weren't fair, so he chose to run for mayor. You get up and do something when you really care. It's Memphis 360.
I'm with you. In the meantime,
It's Memphis 360.
in between time, we got folks shooting people up out the frame. Anybody said a word. We've become
Man.
accustomed to people dying in this city.
Yeah. It's Memphis 360.
Turning the TV on and the news and see our loved ones and see young people that are out of control. And now see, okay. But we talk about incarceration. We talk about the youth. We talk about giving them the ability. We talk about investing in young people and investing in the community. See, I hate ignorance. I hate when people make decisions about things and they make statements and they haven't done their research.
How can you fix the problem when you don't even know what the problem is?
We need some help in this city.
It's Memphis 360.
See, I hate ignorance.
It's Memphis 360.
It's Memphis 360. Man.
Memphis 360.
And good evening. We'd like to welcome you to another edition of Memphis 360, the television show that we say we like to go from the boardroom to the streets. In order to fix what's going on out in the streets, you got to know. You got to be informed. You got to talk to people. You can't walk down the hallway and not speak to people. You can't be on the treadmill in the gym, and when people say hello, you don't even speak back. You can't not go back into your community after you have been elected. When these individuals cast their votes to put you in a position to whereas you can have fiduciary responsibility or you can have stewardship over the governance of the county, whether it be a clerk, whether it be a judge, whether it be the mayor, whether it be any other official title that we have here in the Shelby County, you have to, and part of the problem is, and the reason why we're all off kilter, is all of these individuals that we have been electing, nobody has been going back into the community and servicing the constituents that have elected them. Now, I always have to caveat that with saying we do have some good elected officials. We got good judges, we got good clerks, we got good mayors, we got good county commissioners, we got good city councilmen. But some of them forgot where they came from. And y'all need to exercise that at the polls and let them know that you're not going to take it anymore, you're not going to stand for it, and you are for change. Now, I wanted to talk real quickly about the pastor that was killed out in Whitehaven. First of all, it is a travesty. You know, a lot of people have been asking me, Mike, you going to run for mayor again? And I keep telling them, you don't want me. And I'm going to tell you why you don't want me. Because, see, I'm the type of individual that would get into that office and I'm going to tell you, you got 30 days to get your kids. You got 30 days to get all your thugs off the street. Because after 30 days, we're going to deal with them. Because, see, we keep just lingering and lingering and lingering. And then you got these people that want to be soft on crime. You know, why are we always harassing black folk? I ain't trying to harass nobody, but I will ask you, who's committing homicides? Who's committing carjackings? Who's committing the robberies? Who's committing the home invasions? Who's committing shooting up houses in this community and terrorizing all of our hard-working, tax-paying citizens? Well, whomever that may be, those are the individuals that need to be dealt with. And I'm not for, you know, when they did the truth in sentencing law, I'm like, do it, man, because if, in fact, you make a conscious effort and a conscious decision to go out here and to break into my house, steal my car, hold me up at the ATM, try to carjack me at the gas station, you get what you deserve. I don't mean no harm. I love my people, and I love individuals that are doing the right thing. But those individuals that want to take the shortcuts, they got to be dealt with, man. And just to say, well, y'all just want to lock up all black folk. The city of Memphis is 70% African American. Guess who's committing the predominant number of the crimes in this city? African Americans. So those African Americans have to be dealt with. Are there white people committing crimes? Yes, there is. Are there Hispanics committing crimes? Yes, there are. And as a great segue, the pastor that was killed out in Whitehaven, everybody thought that that was a young African American that did that. I know you did because it was in Whitehaven. But guess what? It was a young 15-year-old Hispanic male. And this is the issue that I have. I understand that they put a moratorium on juvenile court. But who's committing all of the crimes? 15, 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds. And because they put that moratorium on juvenile court, and the Justice Department came in because you got those activists, you got those individuals, oh, we're being so harsh on young black people. Well, guess what? Now it's like a revolving door. This young man, 15-year-old Hispanic, back in November, had carjacked 3 individuals at gunpoint. At gunpoint. He was put on probation. Excuse me? You're going to carjack me at gunpoint, possibly put my life in harm's way or in danger, and they're going to let you out on probation? Yeah, well, Michael, we're trying to do corrective measures and corrective actions, and we want to make sure that young people are good. Well, I get that. I want to make sure that we make sure young people are good too. But when you start picking up guns and pointing them at people, because if you point one at me, I'm going to try to blow your brains out. Point blank, period. And I don't make any excuses and no mistakes. That's why I tell you, y'all don't want me for your mayor. I'm telling you. But this is the issue. So November, he's carjacking. Then they put him on probation. Then they put him in a program. I believe a week after he graduates the program, he goes and carjacks the pastor that's in Whitehaven. She pulls into her driveway, or she hears a noise. She goes out. They pull into the driveway. This individual, 15-year-old boy, who had a previous history of carjackings, shot this lady 10 times. 10, count them, 10, not one. You know, if he'd shot her once, I'd have said, okay, he was trying to get away. If he'd shot her twice, I'd have said, okay, he might have been scared. But when you shoot somebody 10 times, that's intentional. You're trying to hurt somebody. So he shot her 10 times and pulled her out of the car. Pulled her body out of the car. Jumped in the car full of blood, because if you shoot the lady and she in the car, it's blood everywhere. You jump in the car, you take the car, you go carjack somebody else. And the only way you get caught is because now you're doing donuts in the car and you run into a pole. 15 years old, people. And I understand, like I said, we want to make sure that a lot of these individuals, these young people, are given a second opportunity. But you can't save everybody. They don't want to be saved. Don't save her. All right? Everybody don't want to be saved. Some people do. Some people have the ability to be turned around. But you have a lot of these young kids now, they are hardened. A lot of these young kids, they'll take your life. A lot of these young kids, they ain't playing. They out here with switches on 9s. They out here with these AK pistols. They got Dracos. They got extended clip. They got 100-round clips, 100-round drums. They shooting up houses. Police are pulling up on the scene, and they got 100 rounds laying in the middle of the street. You got innocent people that are being killed daily. Innocent people that are being harmed and maimed daily. Something's got to give, people. Like I said, I'd call the police into one. I'd call all the police officers, different shifts, down into the FedEx Forum. Don't be out here abusing my people. If you do something wrong, you're going to be held accountable. But go out here and police these streets. Let's get the streets back. But I would also tell the citizens, mothers, get your kids. Zero tolerance. But see, nobody wants to do that. Strickland don't want to do it because he's white. And if he did it to the black community, then he couldn't get what he wanted, those votes. But me as a black man, I'm just going to tell it to you straight. See, that's how come I say you got to be able to go from the boardroom. I talk to the mayor and the county commissioner, everybody else in the daytime, but I'll get gutter too. I'll get in the mud with you. Straight out of North Memphis, Scudderfield. Straight off 7th Street. Don't let the soup fool you. Straight out of Kuwait. Straight out of a combat zone. Straight out of working in Orange Mound, Castalia, Florida and Kansas as a police officer for 20 years. I can tell you what it's going to take to straighten this city up. You ain't going to like it, though, because it means some people's feelings are going to get hurt. Some people are probably going to die. Because, see, we got to go to war in order to take the streets back of the city of Memphis. And that's point blank. But see, that ain't what you want. Y'all want to diddy-daddle. You know, I saw somebody the other day, they brought in Tamira Rice's family and somebody else's family and somebody else's family. Guess what? That didn't happen here. Now, don't get me wrong. The individuals that did whatever to George Floyd, they need to be prosecuted. The police. Whoever did whatever to Tamira Rice, they need to be dealt with. Whoever did what they did to any other individuals that were not breaking the law and they lost their lives, they need to be dealt with. But see, it's a two-way street. I don't want somebody coming in here being over me that's going to be weak on crime as a voter. I want you to deal with individuals with respect and dignity, but they got to be held accountable for what they do. Respect my kids. But guess what? In order to get respect, you got to give respect. And when you no longer give respect, all bets are off. Hey, I got a good show lined up for you. I know I kind of went down through there, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm feeling that way today. Pinky in the studio. She got me fired up, y'all. And I just wanted to break it down a little bit for you because people keep asking me, what are you going to run for? Are you going to run for mayor? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You don't want me. And I want you to understand from the get-go, if you get me, this is what you get. What you see is what you get. I ain't trying to hide nothing. I ain't trying to sugarcoat it. I ain't trying to downplay it. Because guess what? Too many people have been playing too many games, and they've been blowing smoke, and they've been lying. And y'all been buying into it. Anyway, I'm going to get my first guest up here. We're going to take a real quick commercial break. They're going to see the commercial on the SVPT page. You're going to see us shifting the actual setup here because I'm going to bring George Dempsey up. So don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Hey folks, it's Issa Haddad here. I got some good news and a special invitation for you to come see me here at Sunrise Collierville. Come on down, check out my inventory with new pre-owned and and certified vehicles to choose from. I can get you finance when no one else can. Come on by, bring your family. I treat you like family. Come see me, Issa, here at the #1 dealership in the Mid-South, 4605 Houston Levy Road, Sunrise, Collierville. Come on down, check out my inventory with hundreds of vehicles to choose from, pre-owned, new, and certified.
Good news from Sunrise Chevrolet. Get in your new vehicle today. Come on in, ask for Issa. Bankrupt, slow pay, bad credit, it's okay. Let Issa put you in your brand new truck or car today when you shop at Sunrise Chevrolet, Collierville.
And don't forget, ask for me, Issa.
For over 20 years, OPOX has been keeping the Mid-South
warm in the winter and cool in the summer.
OPOX is family owned and operated, so our family will take care of yours every step of the way. And right now, you can double up and save. Buy a new AC unit and get 50% off a new furnace to match it. Count on OPOX for fast and professional heating and cooling services. Count on OPOX.
I'll let him tell you. And welcome back to Memphis 360, the television show that we said we like to go from the boardroom to the streets. And guess what? Man, we off the chain tonight. I got some good guests for you. I got George Dempsey Summers, who's on the stage now. What's up, George? How you doing?
Great, Mike. Thanks for having me tonight.
Man, thank you so much. Hey, this is a special show tonight. I wasn't supposed to be on. We are going to be on tomorrow night as well. I'm going to have Amy Warwick on the show tomorrow, and Judge Patrick Dandridge. He's going to be on. George over here, Dandridge. He tried to keep me, y'all. We're going to have Judge Patrick Dandridge on the show tomorrow. Thank you so much, George. But I wanted to do a special show tonight because, you know, I saw these two individuals, and they out there, they campaigning hard, and I thought they deserved an opportunity. Like I said, nobody pays to come on this show. I've been doing this show for years. It comes out of my pocket. Nobody, they didn't even ask me to be on the show. I called them and asked them to be on the show because I do think that the citizens need to hear them, and the citizens need to know what these guys have to offer. So, George, first of all, tell us a little bit about George. Where did you grow up at, George?
Well, I was born here in Memphis, Tennessee. I've been here all my life. The area of town I grew up in was Lamar and Sims. Went to Cherokee Elementary for 5 years.
Come on now.
And those of you that remember the Treasury on the corner there of Lamar by 240.
Yep.
My parents took us there opening day, and so that's how far back we go. But after my father passed away at 11 years old, we moved across town.
Okay.
My father was the only one, you know, bringing in the money, and so, of course, my family experienced not paying the rent, so we had to move, and we ended up across town in East Memphis at like Summer and White Station, Summer and Mendenhall.
Okay.
And that's where we are today.
Hey, Gloria Faye Burke said, I met George. He's a nice guy. Well, okay, so you grew up here in the city of Memphis, and did you serve in the military or anything?
I did not.
Okay. Ain't no sweat, George.
I actually went to the recruiter and
You tried
to go, and the guy was like, "Man, George, we would process you, but you're going to be past the age limit in 4 months, and we can't get you processed quick enough."
What?
And so, yeah.
So how old were you when you tried to go in the military? You had to be 36, 37.
I think the age was 35 at the time, and
35?
I was 34.
Oh, okay.
And he says, "Man, we can't get you processed in time before your aged you out."
Okay. And I know you've been in the city of Memphis for this long period of time, and what made you want to get into the service of the city? Or you worked at Memphis City Schools, is that what it was?
Memphis City Schools for 31 years.
31 years.
And then I am currently in Shelby County government of 10 years.
Okay, so what did you do for Memphis City Schools?
Memphis City Schools, I actually worked in the maintenance division. I repaired the band instruments for our entire city school system.
Wow.
So there's just thousands and thousands of you out there listening that if you went to high school between 1981 and 2012, I was the guy behind the scenes that repaired your band instrument so that you could further your music education, and kudos to all those who got music scholarships and went to college.
Well, I just missed you, George, because I graduated in 78 myself. You said 81, right?
Yes.
I graduated in 78 myself. Part of the oldest African-American high school in the city of Memphis, the mighty Manassas Marching Tigers. Man, we were bad, man. You remember Emerson Abel?
I was going to ask you, did you know Emerson Abel?
I knew Emerson Abel well, very well. As a matter of fact, even after I had retired out of the Army, came back, used to go over to his house. He has definitely influenced and had impact on a lot of people's lives. And I gave him credit for a lot of the determination and drive that I have, because he was a taskmaster actually, but he was good. I was in the jazz band, concert band, marching band, all of that good stuff. Played drums.
Emerson was one of those great role models for students.
Yep.
He was stern, he was fair, but the kids loved him.
But one good thing about playing musical instruments too, it's a known fact that individuals that indulge in music and learn to read music and different things like that, a lot of times they are a little bit driven and towards success and different things like that. So
yes.
I think somebody did a study and said something like that. So you worked in the school system for 31 years. Jesus, that's a long time. So then you went over to work for the county.
Yes, I left the school system on a Friday and started Shelby County government on a Monday. I had a long 2-day retirement.
That sounds like me.
And I just finished 10 years, July 1.
Okay.
And I am currently your Shelby County government locksmith. So it's been a very, very rewarding job. I've gained a lot of respect from a lot of people.
Okay.
And I really appreciate that from all of you. There's been times when I've been asked for keys to places that people shouldn't have. And I stood up and I said, well, as soon as the work order comes through, I'll get you one.
George, somebody asked me, are you a Republican or a Democrat?
Well, I am running as an independent.
Okay.
And let me tell you why. The Register of Deeds office has no partisanship about it.
Okay.
If you record the ownership of your home, that's your home. And we'll get into this in a minute, but people are stealing our homes.
Uh-oh.
And when they steal your house, I promise you, you're going to come in the office and go, I want my house back.
Not, are you a Democrat, I want my house back. Not, are you a Republican, I want my house back. But it's, are you doing your job? I want my house back. So whatever your political affiliations are, get me my house. That's all they're concerned about.
Yes. My whole life, 31 years in the Memphis City school system, all of the instruments were brought to us by a truck from the schools, and I never knew the student that was getting the instruments. So therefore, there was no partisanship of...
So what you trying to say, George? You didn't know if they were black, you didn't know if they were white, you didn't know if they were Asian, you didn't know if they were Korean, you didn't know if they were Hispanic, you didn't know anything. You just fixed the weapon.
And every one of them got the same from me, the best I could give.
Okay, all right. But some people, they just so determined that, I got to vote Democrat, I got to vote Republican. I'm going to tell you, I am a registered Democrat. I am. And yes, I support the Democratic Party, but I don't support crap. And I don't support bull. And there's so many of y'all just with that mess right now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just straight up, And I'm not going to condone. I'm not going to support. I'm not going to sit here and oh, God, I'm trying to be nice. I am. But I'm fired up because this election means a lot to me, because these are individuals that are going to have stewardship over the future of Shelby County, the future of the city of Memphis that's going to be coming up next year. And I ain't getting no younger. And I'm tired of fighting. I want somebody who's going to fight for me for a change. And let me go out there and see what Pinky doing. Or let me go out there and see what's going on in Walls, Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? Let me go. I'm just messing with Pinky. She over here. She's escorting Kenny Lee tonight. So I just got to get it in, baby. I'm going to get it in. I'm going to get it in. Okay, back to you, George. I'm so sorry, man. I'm on one tonight. I'm hungry. I ain't ate all day. I think I'm feeling a little lightheaded. But, so now you've been with Shelby County for 10 years. What make you think you can run for registrar?
Well,
because that's what some people say. What makes him qualified? Willie Brooks is running for registrar. What makes him qualified? What makes you qualified, George?
well, my entire life, 41 years, my job in whatever role has been troubleshooting, finding a problem, and resolving it. And so I have personally had property taken from me.
Okay. So you got an axe to grind.
So yes,
Okay.
I can share the feelings wholeheartedly with those that have had their property taken.
Okay.
And matter of fact, it's been more than once. So
Wow.
I've had it done twice to me.
Okay.
But yes, I wanted to step up and take on a leadership role. We are experiencing false quitclaim deeds
Yep.
being filed.
Yes. Yes. And I had heard about that, but I didn't understand how somebody could file a quick claim deed against my property. I live in my property. You go file a quick claim deed against my property, and now I got to go to court, or I'm in a battle to retain the ownership of my property.
The way it was explained to me, and I am not an attorney, this is not legal advice, but approximately 6 years ago, there was a sovereign citizen movement that started.
Exactly, I remember that.
And my opinion is, I think they were the ones that tested the waters on this.
People were squatting in houses, vacant houses, and
Yes.
different things like that. Yeah.
And so it's been relatively easy for years. If we were brothers in a family and we needed to convey the interest of the property from me to you,
Right.
then we could do a
quick
quitclaim
claim
deed
deed.
and transfer it relatively cheap and quickly.
Right.
Well, the sovereign citizen movement found out they could print the form off the computer,
Wow.
put an address in there,
Okay.
get a notary on the signature, and go file it in the office.
Oh, okay.
And then the owner of the home never knew it was transferred.
Wow. So even though they were still in the property, they weren't really the rightful owners of the property anymore.
That's
And-
correct.
And they were going to have to actually go into court and challenge the legitimacy of the document that was filed.
Yes, and it's at the expense of the owner who lost their property.
Right.
Some attorneys I talked to a couple of weeks ago said it was like a $5,000 upfront fee to start, and
Jesus.
it could go from there depending on how long it took.
Wow. Okay, so what are some of the things that you think are wrong right now with, no, I'm not even going to say that. I'm not going to say what you think is wrong. If you were elected as the county registrar, what are some of the things that you want to see happen, and what are some of the, what are going to be your priorities?
Well, the first one is addressing this very issue.
Okay.
I've mentioned this several times on the campaign trail. The judges' races are very important.
Right.
But there are thousands of us citizens here in Shelby County that never have to go down before the courts
Yeah.
before a judge.
Hundreds of thousands, actually.
Hundreds of
But
thousands.
Go ahead.
So I ask the question kind of not sarcastically, but I ask, what does every citizen in this county do every night? They sleep. I said, where do you sleep? In your house. Well, if you lose your house, that's the ultimate important thing to keep.
Right.
So some people may say, George, that's cheesy, but it's the truth.
Yeah. Well, even when I heard it, George, I was like, wait a minute. You know, I done worked hard all my life to get my house, or the house that I currently live in, you know, and it's an accomplishment that a lot of people in my family have never achieved. So it means a lot to me, it means a lot to my family, and for someone to try to challenge that or to put me in a compromising situation to whereas now I got to go fight to retain what I have already acquired, then I have some serious issues with that because, you know, I want somebody who definitely is going to, you know, y'all heard me in the first segment. I want to go to war, not just with the crime in the streets, but also with the services that are being provided and the representation that is being provided to the constituents, you know, the individuals that elect people, you know. I want to hold those individuals accountable because it means a lot. And so many people have went through so much so that we could have the democracy that we have and that we have the ability to choose those individuals that are going to be the leaders in our community. We have the ability to do that. And being that I was in the military for 20-some years, I've been to a whole lot of countries where you don't have a choice. You know, you are under communist rule or you are under some dictatorship or something to that effect, to whereas whatever is given, that's what you have to take. But we have the ability as individuals that can go to the polls and cast our votes for those individuals that we think are qualified and that will live up to, because George, I'm gonna tell you, if you get elected and you don't live up to what you say, I'm gonna be up here talking about you. That daggone George Dempsey, man. Do I have to worry about that, George?
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to dig in as hard as I can. And you know, those elected officials that do try hard, that want to make a difference, there is plenty of roadblocks.
Yes, that is true.
But I'm ready to take it on.
That is definitely true because, you know, as you can tell, there are individuals that that may not have the money that some individuals are getting. They're out here every day. George, it's like he says, working a 7 to 5, and then he leaving work, putting his T-shirt on, going out there to the polls and vote. And what I like about America is, regardless of who you are, you have the ability. And if you work hard, if you put your best foot forward, if you do the things that you need to do, pay your taxes and all of that, stay out of trouble, you can run for office, for any office, in any county, any city, anywhere you live, and that's your right as an individual. So you say your first priority is to deal with the issue with quitclaim deeds and individuals that are trying to acquire your house. What else do you have, George? What, you know, these people, you know, you trying to get these people to vote for you. What else you got, George? What's in your bag, man? What?
All right.
What it is?
One of the things I've been hearing is the website was changed.
Okay.
And it wasn't as friendly as it was prior to the change.
Okay.
And so we're going to take a look at that.
Okay.
And definitely, I'm a guy that don't like to click about 10 and 15 times. I want to click about 4 or 5 and find what I need.
Okay.
So we're going to...
So they're saying it's hard to navigate through the website of the registrar's office.
Yes.
Okay.
And then one of the number one things is people use it all the time, but it don't happen, and that's customer service.
Mm-hmm.
I want people to feel relaxed and friendly when they come in the office.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of walk-ins that bring their paperwork in to get filed, and you know, it's always pleasant to have someone with a smile and accommodating.
Okay. And one of the other things I found out, the Registers of Deeds office is also the custodian of records.
Yes. The archives is huge.
There you go. Okay.
And if you've never visited the archives, I would encourage you to find an hour in your lifetime and go visit the archives.
Well, you know, I went over there and I was just amazed at all the historical photos and documents and different things like that that the Register of Deeds is responsible for and that they have in their office and that the Register of Deeds is responsible for. So we got about 1 minute, George, because I got Kenny Lee waiting in the wings, baby, and I'm finna get up here and we're going to clown with Kenny because It's going to be interesting. But anyway, you want the citizens of Shelby County to vote for you. Tell them why. Why should they vote for George Dempsey Summers? Why should I cast my vote
All right.
for George?
My name is George Dempsey Summers, and I am asking you for your vote. I'm asking you to vote for a person that is going to work for you. I will not make promises that I cannot keep, but I will commit to you to give you my very best. And I will be open for questions in the office because we want to address the issues. So please go vote. George Dempsey Summers, Register of Deeds.
Well, all right. George is a native Memphian. George have dedicated over 30-some years of his service to the citizens of the city of Memphis and Shelby County. He's a stick and stay kind of guy. That's all I can say. All right. I'm going to tell you, I've already cast my vote. I've cast my vote already. I have cast my vote. I early voted, y'all. I voted the first day because I wanted to get it out of the way and get it done. I'm going to encourage all of you to go vote. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but I am going to tell you to vote. I definitely wanted to bring you on, and I want to thank you so much, George, for coming in and just sitting down, chopping it up with me for a minute, and availing yourself to the citizens of Shelby County and allowing them. A lot of people, we got Robert L. Jameson from California. We got Bob Midget. What's up, Bob? Got a lot of people sitting here watching you, man, and they are deciding who they're going to vote for. All right. So I hope you made an impression on some of these young people or some of these individuals out here, and they decide to cast their vote. I know Carolyn Ship Lawson back here, she said, and I can't find it, but she said she is also an independent, not necessarily a Republican or Democrat, but she is an independent as well. All right.
Thank you.
So thank you guys so much. Guess what? We're going to go ahead and take a real quick commercial break because we're rolling, man. Time flying. I didn't know we had been up here that long. But I got to get Kenny Lee on the stage because we've been to turn up just a little bit more, And I thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is a fun show. And don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Hey folks, it's Issa Haddad here. I got some good news and a special invitation for you to come see me here at Sunrise Collierville. Come on down, check out my inventory with new, pre-owned, and certified vehicles to choose from. I can get you finance when no one else can. Come on by, bring your family. I treat you like family. Come see me, Issa, here at the #1 dealership in the Mid-South, 4605 Houston Levy Road, Sunrise Collierville. Come on down, check out my inventory with hundreds of vehicles to choose from, pre-owned, new, and certified.
Good news from Sunrise Chevrolet. Get in your new vehicle today. Come on in, ask for Issa. Bankrupt, slow pay, bad credit, it's okay. Let Issa put you in your brand new truck or car today when you shop at Sunrise Chevrolet Collierville.
And don't forget, ask for me, Issa.
For over 20 years, OPOX has been keeping the Mid-South
Warm in the winter and cool in the summer.
OPOX is family owned and operated, so our family will take care of yours every step of the way. And right now, you can double up and save. Buy a new AC unit and get 50% off a new furnace to match it. Count on OPOX for fast and professional heating and cooling services. Count on OPOX.
Yeah, uppity. And good evening. I would like to welcome you back to Memphis 360. Man, I am loving this show. This has actually been a fun show. I actually enjoyed George Dempsey. But guess what? Now my guest is not the one and only. The one and only Kenny Lee of Memphis, Tennessee.
That's right, Kenny.
In the 901, baby. What's up, Kenny?
What's going on, Mike? I'm glad that you invited me here today.
I know I'm probably setting the sound thing over the edge, the little deal there. But anyway, I got Kenny Lee. Kenny Lee is running for Shelby County School Board, District 6.
That's right, District 6.
Okay, first of all, tell us a little bit about your growing? Are you a native Memphian?
I am.
You are a native Memphian. Okay, tell us a little bit about you growing up here in the city of Memphis. I try to get the citizens to see Kenny Lee for Kenny Lee, not Kenny Lee.
Entertainment.
Not Kenny Lee. We're gonna get to the entertainer. Not Kenny Lee. Run for school board District 6, but Kenny Lee. How was your upbringing here in the city of Memphis? How did you come up?
Well, I grew up in North Memphis for a very short period of time.
Okay.
Actually, we moved from North Memphis to Whitehaven while I was in elementary.
Were you in Lakeview Gardens out there somewhere?
I sure was, because I went to.
You was in LVG, LVG, baby.
Yeah, I was.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. We're supposed to be serious.
I
We supposed to be serious,
to
Kenny.
Meadow Lake Elementary,
Okay.
and then Fairleigh, Jeter Middle School, and then graduated from Fairleigh. So I got a little North Memphis in me now.
Because I kept saying north.
Yeah, North, because
Okay.
we grew up on Chelsea and Breedlove.
Man, that's really
so that
north.
Memphis kind of put
Yeah.
that north in me,
Okay.
And then I went to Whitehaven and graduated from Fairleigh and became a bulldog.
Okay, Fairleigh Bulldog.
I'm a real bulldog.
Okay,
now.
okay.
I ain't one of them little soft little bulldogs.
Oh, Lord. What's up, Ted Stephanie? What's up, James Benton Cunningham? What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in. So, you grew up out in LVG, spent a little time in North Memphis. So, you went to Fairleigh High School.
Fairleigh.
All right. So, what happened after you got out of high school? What else? Have you done anything else here in the city of Memphis?
Well, after I got out of high school, I was the first black 19-year-old to launch my own television show on Comcast Cable.
Wow.
Where I interviewed dignitaries and celebrities. And
You were 19?
I was 19 years old.
Man, that's wow.
And so I did television for about 11 years.
Okay.
And I ran into former, now juvenile court clerk, Janice Fully Love.
Yeah.
And I started working with her. Well, working with Janice, I was introduced to.
That's my girl.
That's
my girl.
That's my girl, But working just under Janice and working with her, I learned so much about the city government.
Right.
Dealing with different, issues within the city.
Okay.
And I'm a product of Memphis City Schools.
Come on.
Let me just say that.
Fairleigh Bulldog. Come on.
I just had to put that in there.
Okay.
Gave them that for free.
Okay.
So, when they surrendered the charter, I was very upset,
Man, look, I wasn't upset. I was pissed.
Oh, we can say that
pissed.
on TV?
I'm saying it. Anyway, we gave up the stewardship of the education of our children in the city of Memphis. And don't get me wrong, I understand. I live in Shelby County too. Okay, so that's the secondary. But I am a citizen of the city of Memphis. I am a native of the city of Memphis. I was born in the city of Memphis. I was raised in the city of Memphis.
Memphis like
man,
me. We
look,
just Memphis,
man,
Memphis
down. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real, brother.
You're right about
Memphis
that.
down.
Memphis.
And it upset me because they wanted to say, oh, it's going to cost so much to educate the kids, and we don't want to give the $50 million out of the... And I'm sitting here going, what? What's more important than my legacy or my future?
You're absolutely correct about that.
All right. So you graduated Fairleigh. Then you were the youngest African American broadcaster on Comcast and all of that good stuff. And you hung out with Janice. Good woman, man. She was a fighter.
Yeah.
Or she is a fighter.
She is a fighter.
She is a fighter. Let me change that.
Mm-hmm.
Jan is. She is a fighter, and she always fought for the people. So did you learn that from her?
I did.
Or did you kind of get a little bit of that? You already had it.
I already had it, but
Okay.
she just kind of pushed it on now.
Nurtured it and all of that. Okay, well, good. So you worked with Janice, and then I know you worked over in juvenile court for a while.
I did. I was an auxiliary probation officer. I did that for a while. And then I worked on the foster care review board there.
Wow.
So I left there, and then I started working at Crystal Palace.
Okay.
The famous Crystal Palace Theater Center, where I was the entertainment manager. Because I was, even with my TV show, I did a lot of...
So you're the one who wouldn't let me bring my groups into
no,
Crystal Palace back in the day. Now I'm finna bust him out.
No, wait a
No, I'm
minute.
just kidding. Come on.
I wanted those young people to, show their talent. And in working there, I had an opportunity to actually, a lot of times when you're dealing with young people, we don't listen to them. If they would just take out the time to listen to these young people and listen to what they say, we would be in a better place than where we are today. See,
and that's how come my philosophy is from the boardroom to the streets. You have to listen. You know, people used to trip all the time, Kenny, because I could go out to Florida and Kansas and sit down with the Rolling 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I could go to Frazier and Raleigh and sit down with Fast Cash. I'm the police now. I could go and sit down and talk to the Crips and the Bloods.
Well, because you're real.
Exactly.
You know you're real.
But you have to, in order to change things, you have to know what the issues and the problems are, and you have to go to the source to be able to know. You can't get it. You know, everybody's trying to figure out, how do we fix this? How do we fix this? But you're trying to fix it from a perspective that you're up here and you think you have the knowledge and the skills and the know-how. But see, you can't guess
You can't.
at what makes people tick and how they tick and what they're looking for and what's going to fix the issues, because a lot of times it's because you haven't taken the interest in people. Okay, so you at Crystal Palace, you the entertainment director at Crystal Palace, and you doing all that stuff. You'd have been a probationary officer, auxiliary I caught all that.
You caught it.
Auxiliary probation
Because a lot of people
officer.
wouldn't have caught
No,
that.
bruh, I'm a good listener. You're an auxiliary probationary officer over there, you know. But what that tells me, and it's just me, that you've been working with kids. It tells me that you had an interest in the future, the rehabilitation, the guidance of young people in our community. That's what that tells me.
You're right about that.
You understand what I'm saying? I picked up on that.
You did.
Okay, so you did all of those things, and then I know you also worked under Janice Foley Love at juvenile court as well.
As a deputy court clerk.
See, look at it. Look at it. So you have,
know on it.
bruh, let me tell you something. See, that's why, you know, when my show come on and say, you can't tell me nothing about Memphis that I don't
That you
already
don't
know. See, and people be like, yeah, or whatever. But like I say, go from the boardroom to the streets. I go down in the mud with you.
I believe you.
I go
Well,
down
no,
in the
I
mud
know
with
you
you.
will.
I'll go down in the mud with you, but I'm gonna come back up. You know what I'm saying? So what made you want to run for district school board?
You know, Mike, when I look at these young people, and
Okay.
like I told you, I'm a product of Memphis City Schools.
Yeah.
And when I look at what's going on with Shelby County Schools, number one, I was upset because they spent $9,000 switching the name from Shelby County School to
Schools.
Memphis and Shelby County School.
Yeah.
A waste of money. It's a lot that is going on within the school system right now, and I care about these kids' future. You know, they're carrying book bags but have no textbooks in them. You know, and so it's just a lot. And I said, you know, I need to continue to be a voice for those young people who cannot be a voice for themselves.
Come on.
You know, and so I've worked with young people. I've listened to them. You know, I've been to kids' houses who say they only get a meal when they're at school. But that was then. But now, when you're not feeding them right, they can't think right. They can't educate. When they're not teaching these kids basic fundamentals.
Come on.
But you say you a board member. Come on, if the head ain't right, what you think the bottom gonna do?
Come on.
See, Kenny Lee just real, Mike, and you know me.
Yep.
You know, I'm not a politician, but I'm going to keep it real. And I'm going to question anything that comes across my desk if I'm elected.
Right.
You know?
Right. So, man, you putting all of this time in, and I see you out here campaigning and you know, you're fighting for the community, because one of the other things I noticed about you is what is it? Is it the Ride of Tears?
The Ride of Tears.
The Ride of Tears. You know, I followed, you know, when y'all went down to Valde, Texas.
Yeah, we did.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here, and you know me, I sit back and watch folks. You know, I'm one of them old gangsters. I just sit back and watch it. You know what I mean? I ain't got to say nothing. I just watch. Because I'm going to tell you, Kenny, can I be straight? You know, a lot of folks going to be sitting out there and they're going to be looking and they like, Kenny buck wild, man. Kenny been out there. Kenny, you know, just straight up.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're absolutely
and even
right.
some people that's looking down.
Because I'm not perfect, you know.
Come on, brother.
But I'm real.
Come on.
You know, I'm real.
But that's what I'm talking
But
about.
there's a soft side of Kenny. Like when you look at the Ride of Tears, and I'm the vice president of that organization. But it's an organization who rides in honor of kids who get killed due to gun violence.
Hold on. Once again, we're back to the children, people.
You know, I mean, come on.
children.
You don't have no organization who are out here riding. You know, it's one thing to say, I love the kids. But when these kids are losing their lives due to gun violence, You know, they're not calling them. My fault. LeBunner is calling me. The media is calling me. I'm the one who goes out with those parents and those grandparents and say, I'm sorry for what is happening. We get leaders to just go out and say, I'm sorry for what has happened to your child. Whatever we can do, we can make a difference. You know, the Ride of Tears is the only organization, not just here in Memphis, but because we get calls from all over the country. Now, we created a children's-sized hearse. Now, watch this, Mike.
I know.
Initially, it was just for sickly kids of Lebanon, you know, who dies at St. Jude. But with so much crime here in Memphis, we're now taking the car to go to kids' funerals who have been shot and killed here in Memphis.
Wow.
You know, so, you know, I mean, it's just sad, you know, but I've dedicated myself to the Ride of Tears because these parents need us. These kids need us. These kids are our future.
I think Pinky was trying to get you to say Mississippi too.
Oh yeah, Mississippi and Arkansas. We went to Uvalde, Texas.
Look,
you know,
I got you.
You know, when those kids got killed, they didn't believe it. They said, "Are you all?" We don't see color, Mike. You know, when a child get killed due to gun violence, the Ride of Tears, we're going. If we know about it, we're going.
Come on.
And so we went to Uvalde to hug on those mothers and those teachers. I met a teacher down there who said she heard the shooting and she had to get her desk and push in front of her door and tell the kids to get down.
Yeah.
You know, so I went there to let those parents know that they're not alone. It's something you have to ask yourself, Mike, when you lose a child 7, 8, 9, 10 years old,
bro,
due to gun violence,
I don't even want to. I mean, I can't fathom that.
It's heartbreaking, you know. But I care about the kids. My heart is with the kids, Mike, and I know that if they elect me, and I'm gonna say this, Mike, even if I'm not elected, I'm going to continue to do what I can to make sure that these citizens and these people know that somebody cares.
Now that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I don't like individuals that I only see you at election time, and now you want to put your cause out there. You know, for me, it's all about doing the work on a daily basis.
That's
you know,
true.
I have people that walk up to me all the time, and they say, "Well, Michael, so and so, Michael, so and so." But that's because they see me out here all the time. I'm either speaking against the grain, I'm either, you know what I'm saying?
You real, Mike. And a lot of people can't take
they can't, but what they can't take is they can't get at me.
That's what it is.
You know, I ain't a hoe.
That's why
I don't do drugs.
You know, Mike, I said when you was on that radio show, you was raw.
But
I mean, boy, this TV show a whole.
You know, I have to be like, yes, this is Mike Williams, and I'm the. I host Memphis 360. You know what I'm saying? But on the radio, I was like, I ain't a hoe. Don't be sending them hoochies after me because I ain't going. I don't do drugs. I don't hang out. I like my wife. She kind of cute. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But okay, so and I'm sorry. I told you I'm having fun, and I'm actually glad Kenny's up here because you know. I like for it to be loose, and I like for you to get to know Kenny because I'm going to tell you, I know a lot of people are like, man, what, huh? You understand?
Yep, I know.
I watch some of your videos. You know me, I'm real. I watch some of your videos because I told you I went all up and down your page, brother.
Yeah, when I saw the picture, I'm like, where did this picture?
I went through your videos.
Somebody had sent you that picture. I was like,
no.
Where did he find?
I go get my own stuff because I want to know who I'm dealing with. You know, I knew you, and I know you promote. I know you have radio shows. I know you do all of that. But I wanted to go back and look at Kenny Lee history. You know what I'm saying? So, and I saw some of your videos from your campaign even, and I'm like, dude, they out there on the polls. You got folk out there working for you in the community.
I mean, they working.
You know what I'm saying? They working this thing. You know, and I'm like, so let me get Kenny on the show. You know what I mean? Let me get him on the show.
I'm glad you invited me.
Yeah. Man, we got about 3 minutes. We've been going like that.
Oh, Lord, we've been having a ball lately.
Jesus. Okay, so we got 3 minutes. Anyway, so now you want to be on the school board because you want to represent kids and families, right? What made you want to do that?
Well, because I think that when you look at all of the crimes that's going on in the school system, all of the issues that are going on in the school system. See, Mike, I was out there when those parents were outside. They had just switched over from virtual into back in school, and those parents was outside the school board trying to talk to somebody. You had over 200-some parents out there, and
they couldn't talk to nobody.
Somebody came
that's
out,
the stuff that pisses me off.
Somebody came out and said, we were told that you all could write it down and leave it at the door or email it. Everybody can't email, Mike. You had elderly, because a lot of times
Elderly
these kids,
grandparents
right.
that
And
are
they was
taking
like,
care of the kids.
email when they need answers today. So if
Yeah.
I am elected, I'm gonna have an open door policy. That's why I tell them, if I'm in office, you're in office. You can believe that.
Okay. Hey, man, I only got a couple minutes left. I sure hate it. Oh, God. But I'm glad that I got you to come on to the show. Tell these people why they need to vote for Kenny Lee.
Vote Kenny Lee for Shelby County School Board District 6. Because if I'm in office, you in office, and because I care.
You know what? These people be killing me. Kenny Lee. Vote for Kenny Lee. You know, he done got all bougie now. Vote for, we up here just chopping it up, having a good time. I'm up here acting a fool in a suit, you know what I mean? Looking good, And Kenny up here, now he want to get to, excuse me, vote for Kenny Lee because if I am in office, you're in office. Is that your mantra?
That's what I'm going by.
Okay, well, all right. Well, hey, Kenny, man, I want to thank you so much for just coming on to the show and chopping it up. I hope, that you have reached some people out there, and I hope that, they consider voting for Kenny Lee. Hey, man, I just want to say that God is truly blessing. He continues to bless. I know I am so fortunate, and I pray blessings into your life as well, no matter where you are, no matter who you are, even that 15-year-old boy that shot that pastor. I pray for him. I pray that, God do touch his heart and that he delivers him and that he softens his heart. I pray for those young men that are out in the street every day, that are out there lost on the corner, look, in the trap house. You understand what I'm saying?
That's right.
I pray for those young ladies that are on the stripper poles. I do. You know what I mean? Because it could be me. And there go I, only by the grace of God. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in, man. I'm feeling good today. I'm hungry. I keep saying I'm hungry, but I'm hungry. I ain't had enough to eat. Angel rushing me off the TV. To my folk out there in Facebook land, I just want to say thank you guys so much, man, for all the love you continue to show me. And for you guys out there on Comcast, Roku, Apple TV, what else over there? Fire TV.
Comcast.
I just want to say, hey, man, peace and blessings.
Apple.
So until next time.
I was reading the
This is my show, Kenny. This ain't your show. See, he's so used to having his. You can tell when people have their own stuff. He's so used to having his own show. Stop reading my cue cards. He read my cue cards, people. But anyway, until next week, same time, same location. Be blessed, be strong, be encouraged, and we'll see you next week.
SVP, SVP, we're family. For all your needs. SVP, SVP, we're family. We're gonna make you fall in love with me. We're gonna make you fall in love with SVP. SVP.